Ketenat transport ke Sorkar Jylla ryngkat ketenat Civil Aviation ke Sorkar Pdeng hene ke step ke Khatsau tarik Naiweieng ke pynher ya ke Liengsuin Duriaw ni seaplane Pung Umiam ke belong bynta ban pyni bat kum ke jingpyrshang ke long ni em ban pynher ya ke ni ke Liengsuin Duriaw. Ya kini ke program lawan ban plie de myntri ketenat Civil Aviation ke Sorkar Pdeng UR Naidu Kinjarapu ryngkat ke jingdon lang myntri rangbah ke Jylla Conrad K Sangma. Ya kini ke Liengsuin Duriaw en pyniaid deka SpiceJet kaba ya ke Liengsuin laai deka de Havilland Aircraft na Canada ke belong ru bynta ke RCS-UDAN scheme ke Sorkar Pdeng.
Karunga kita mungkin kan ini.
Take off right now.
In the next 2 to 3 years, we'll be having maybe one of the best resorts in the entire Northeast region right here in this spot that we are standing on right now. And how do we connect with the plane experience and the resorts and the entire tourism sector will determine whether these kind of technology in the seaplanes will be a success or not. So hence the tourism stakeholders must connect and must be able to work together with the aviation team so that we can actually make it sustainable. Government will have to play the initial role to support so that their sustainability is there, the practical side is there, and be able to move forward. But at the end of the day, it must be sustainable through tourism and other sectors working together. So I'm very hopeful that that will happen. From the tourism point of view, we are very happy today that Shillong is one of the most sought after destinations. That's exactly what the word is. There's a Sky Scanners travel trend report that came out that that Shillong had even surpassed Azerbaijan's Baku as the most sought after destination for Indian travelers in 2025. So that's the kind of the attention or the opportunity that Shillong and Meghalaya has from the tourism perspective. We have had a lot of critics, that have been very critical of the different programs and policies that we've been trying to push as a government, the different festivals that we've been having. Yes, they had their concerns saying that government is spending a lot on festivals, but this is the result of that. So today the investments we have made in different tourism sector programs has resulted in what we're seeing, making Shillong one of the most desirable destinations. So these things take time. It's not that we do things today and we see the results tomorrow. When you plant a seed, it takes time for the fruits to come out, for the tree to grow. But today, after few years of a lot of investment, a lot of structuring, tourism is not just one sector. It's a full ecosystem that you need to develop, from connectivity to basic things like infrastructure of hotel stays, to the manpower that's required, to the beautification of locations that are there, so on and so forth. And hence, it was a very long journey, but we are finally seeing that the investments today we are making in tourism, whether it's in different festivals that people were criticizing earlier, we are seeing that the results are finally showing. And Shillong has become, as I said, one of the most sought after destinations for Indian travelers in 2025. And what is more important is, as we know, the tourism sector, the returns are very high. So whatever investment you make, the money comes into the economy. That's very important to remember.
Round of UDAN, especially for the seaplane network, which is going to open up new impossible locations that have to be connected to the air connectivity. UDAN 5.4 has also been launched, which was specifically focusing on seaplanes before. Now we are doing the UDAN 5.5 also for seaplanes. And there will be no need for license for the water aerodromes, which was initially a great challenge for us to build these water aerodromes. And the commercial pilot license holders can now directly obtain seaplane ratings that will allow them to fly seaplanes altogether. And I believe it goes without saying that these guidelines, along with seamless integrating seaplane operations into aviation's landscape, would also lead to creation of jobs in supporting the regional economy. I want to make seaplanes a symbol of country's economic growth, innovation, and commitment to inclusive development. And for that, we all need to collaborate together, and other states need to come forward, just like Meghalaya, to align with the commitment of establishing multimodal connectivity in the country. And you look at the advantage that the seaplane brings today, and you compare it with the traditional airports that we have. When you want to build an airport in the country, it needs up to the tune of 1,000 acres or more to have a proper airport. And there are many locations in the country where people aspire to be connected through the aviation, but there is a challenge of building the airport. Now, wherever these challenges are there, now we can still bring the air connectivity to that region if there is a good water body. And it can be a dam, it can be a reservoir, it can be a river, it can be the coast, it can be any kind of water body that is 200 meters long, and then we can land the seaplane there and provide them the seaplane connectivity. And India's coastline, which is 7,517 kilometers long, offers a wide opportunity for running the seaplane network along with the lakes of the country. And the seaplanes offer a unique solution in providing last mile connectivity, particularly in regions where traditional infrastructure is limited due to the terrain challenges that we face. And seaplanes can offer direct routes, reducing dependency on long road travel and bringing remote populations closer to urban amenities, healthcare, and also educational facilities. Unlike airports, seaplanes require very minimal infrastructure, just a water runway and a docking area, and this is far more affordable and easier to implement, making seaplanes a more economically viable option for expanding air connectivity across the region. And seaplanes typically fly at a lower altitudes, which reduce congestion also in the commercial airspace, and it also is with lower operation costs. And seaplanes can provide access to flood affected areas, coastal or isolated areas, making them invaluable for emergency relief operations. And in times of natural disasters, they can deliver aid and also evacuate people from areas where road or rail transport can be a challenge. For communities far from coastal hubs, seaplanes offer a unique opportunity to bridge the gap of connectivity. They can be used to transport cargo, mail, and other essential logistical networks. And for communities, this is going to be a great opportunity for them to connect to the rest of the country.